Get ready. Go!
Next stop, on my crusade to find the most obscure games I can, I think I've come across a real doozy. Everyone's walked past this game in a pawn shop at one point or another and not purchased it. Yep, it's as invisible as I was during high school, so I'm just gonna get right into it. Does anyone remember Automobili Lamborghini? So what is this game? Well, for starters, Automobili Lamborghini was released in 1997, and it was developed by Titus France. It was received decently. Most publications of the time gave it a solid 7 to 8 out of 10, aside from Next Generation, who gave it a solid 2.5 stars, stating, "It really needs a better sense of speed and more tension, or at least some unique element besides its dream car license to set it apart." Even at Nintendo's recently lowered prices, it's no steal. Electronic Gaming Monthly criticized the relatively paper-thin gameplay, bland colors, and intolerably stupid computer opponents.
Emotional damage.
There are 8 cars in total. By default, you have the Lamborghini Diablo and Countach. You can unlock the other 6 by completing the arcade series on varying difficulties. And these cars are the Porsche 959, the Ferrari F50, the Ferrari Testarossa, the Dodge Viper, the McLaren F1, and the Bugatti AB110. While recording, I was only able to unlock the Porsche due to 3 things. 1. The game is pretty difficult. Unfairly difficult actually, but I'll explain more on that later. 2. The game doesn't save. Or I just haven't figured out how. The cheats don't seem to work at all either, and I've tried again and again to no avail. And 3. The game is kinda boring. Well, that's an understatement. The game is incredibly boring. There aren't many things to keep you interested while racing, unless you like dull colors and irritating engine sounds that eventually turn into a soothing lullaby. They're like a siren's call, luring you to your death. Or at least luring you to a wasted afternoon. But luckily, for your sanity and to prevent unwanted naps, I've muted the engines. On that point, I found myself zoning out a lot during subsequent arcade series attempts, only to zone in again to see my car doing donuts in the grass. There's no hook, no gimmick, it's just hold A until you're done. Alright, I'm gonna go eat, come back to this after. It's taco night tonight. I don't know why I'm telling you guys this, because I'll be cutting all this out anyway. Alright, back to it. Oh, come on, seriously? I seriously hate cartridges sometimes. People who love them are dense and can't be trusted. The same people who like cartridges are the people who pull their pants all the way down to stand at the urinal. All you got is a white ass and the sound of piss hitting the side of porcelain. They're just like flat earthers and the French. Don't trust them. Hey, here we go. Now let's see what this new whip can do. Where is it? You're telling me I played through all those boring ass races just to get a Porsche I can't even use? Games without a save function are what caused Pompeii. They're worse than stepping on Lego. These games are why reaction videos are so popular. We become compliant with mediocrity. F***ing bitch, when you p*** my ass and don't even f***ing use Pepto, it makes me want to motherfucking Astroglide so I can shit out tapioca balls. Furthermore, I find it very strange that in a game literally called Lamborghini Cars, only 2 out of 8 cars are actually made by the titular manufacturer. That's like going into a sex shop and all they have are some assless chaps and a few old leathery gimp masks, but the rest of the store is wall-to-wall pool floaties. It's just false advertisement. I just wanted more Lamborghinis. And it's not like there was a shortage either. This game came out in 97, and to my count there are at least 10 unique Lamborghini models released before this game, not including the 2 that are in the game itself, but I digress. Now, in most racing games of this era, difficulty is achieved by making your opponents faster or by making them perfect racers, and that's okay. But not in Automobili Lamborghini. The difficulty in this game is all about the AI being super dumb. They do some seriously questionable things and straight up run you off the road. That, in combination with bad collision and terrible game mechanics. Often, the AI would just ram me until I spin out, but if I ram my opponent, I still go flying. It's like a damn pinball machine. You just bounce around. So don't even attempt to race dirty, because the other racers aren't driving supercars like you are, they're driving tanks that look like supercars. This game boasts 6 incredible tracks, and they range from the classic racetrack to a coastline in a smoggy industrial park. That would be great if they weren't all boring as sin. Now, I'm not one to harp on graphics or anything, but if you were at a let's just put it this way. If you were at a party with all the other racetracks, right? These tracks would be the ones who show up plastered and uninvited, then start pole dancing on a coat rack. Then, drunkenly stumble over to you and ask, "Do you think I'm pretty?" And you would just look the tracks up and down and see there are no stage hazards or jumps anywhere, so you know they're boring. You'd see low-res models, so you know these tracks were prematurely birthed, and you'd see ridiculous shortcuts, so their creators are most likely drunk while making them. But it has a color palette so bland your super religious parents would definitely approve. And then you'd reply in the only appropriate way by saying, "You have a nice personality." So yeah, they're ugly. One thing I do find kinda cool is that your tires can wear out, prompting a pit stop. It's a neat little minigame, and I honestly wasn't expecting anything like this to be in the game, but here it is. Unfortunately, after a few races it gets very redundant, not to mention it ruins any lead you may have had. So I went into a few races with the intention of deliberately not fixing it for the sake of science, and I noticed it doesn't really make a huge difference anyway. You kinda just slide a little bit more, which can be used to your advantage to drift, but it can be a little squirrely as you weren't meant to drift in this game. This is also one of those arcade games that's really stingy with the time between checkpoints. Look at this, I'm in first, right? Yet barely keeping time. I don't even know how that's possible. It's not like I've been messing around or crashing at all. You really can't in this game if you want to win. I've actually had really good lap times this race. Look, I finished with the timer displaying 0 while in first. It happens often too. It's more infuriating than those people who do text roleplay. Geez, what a chore this game was. Now I see why this one is always in pawn shops. We should all band together and do to this game what they did to E.T. on the Atari. Or better yet, we should donate them all to those terrible life hacks people so they can show you how to make a trendy purse or some shit no one needs. I did not remember this game before recording this, and now having memories of it, I feel violated. What about you guys? Does anyone remember Automobili Lamborghini or Lamborghini cars? If so, I'm sorry to hear that. We do have a support group going, comment for details, and thanks for watching. Oh, and just one more thing, the support group. You can only get in if you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. It's an exclusive club.